Hello, my dear friends. How are you? How's it going? I do hope I find you all in good health and safe and sound. Welcome. I'm Arith Härger, and today I would like to show you something. As a matter of fact, I've promised you, right? From time to time, I would give you an update on my life, on my personal, on what's going on, and this is a sort of such. As I wanted to say, I remember from my childhood a plant that drops considerable sized seeds, which I always picked from the ground and collected on flasks, right? I don't know its name, but in Portugal, in popular tradition, we call it Flor do Morto, dead man's flower. It usually grows on graveyards or very specifically at someone's doorstep, right from the floor, from the pavement and stone outside of the entrance of the house. But very rarely, that happens very rarely. Where I grew up, in a remote and tiny village, it used to grow on the cemetery, on the graveyard, and at the doorstep of one single house on the village. I tried to plant this flower in many different places, many different occasions throughout my life, and it never cocked. It's funny because this is a very strong plant. It grows from any sort of soil. Not even from the soil, actually. It doesn't even need earth to grow. And when people try to root it out, it just grows back again and again and again. It's actually very hard to get rid of it. However, for me, it has been extremely hard to make the seeds sprout and plant it. It's like it chooses where it wants to grow and doesn't let go at all. I do believe the plant is not native to Europe, much less to Portugal, but to Southern America actually. But it was brought to Europe in the 16th century, I believe. I read that somewhere. But well, now that my girlfriend and I moved into the village, into another village, not where I come from, but we found the plant standing at the doorstep of one house, one single house, the only house in the village. It seemingly has chosen to grow. We picked up the seeds so we could later on use them in, well, traditional folk magic, witchcraft, as it were. And we had also found previously a bird's nest, which we kept for the same purpose, to later on use it. We have placed the seeds inside the nest in the dark, no light, no water. We quite forgot about it. And the other day I went to pick up some tools and found that two seeds started to sprout from inside the nest. Quite unique for the type of plant, so hard to make it germinate and grow. So here we are. I wanted to show you this precisely. It's growing from the bird's nest. If this isn't precisely a good omen for the very reason and aim we picked these two different things, which we didn't mean to place them together, well, I don't know what is. I think this is a good omen, or maybe it's just coincidence. Still, it's interesting, and now I will plant it in a pot and hopefully it will grow. If so, it will have its purpose in our lovely home. So here we have, it's a little bit hard to plant this and get the earth holding the microphone. My old microphone, after so many years, it just stopped working, so I have to use this old one, and hopefully you can hear me quite well. I cannot afford a new microphone, but well, a little bit of earth. I'll do this later. Well, as for me, and I did promise you, right, I would give you an update. I am quite well. I mean, in terms of work, job, career, right, things aren't going that well, unfortunately, but that is mostly on me and due to my decisions and standing where I stand. But concerning everything else, I don't think it can get any better than this, actually. And I don't mean this, it's not in a bad way or some sort of gloomy or pessimistic way. On the contrary, actually, I have reached the peak of happiness in my life, I believe. I've never been so happy as I am now. Everything else in my life is going absolutely great. It has been amazing. I feel an overwhelming sense of fulfillment and happiness. I can honestly say that at the age of 37, I have achieved all the things that I ever wanted in life, and that's something. Since I was old enough to want anything, right? But I've never wanted a lot of things, but I have wanted things that are not so easily achievable, especially today. There's certainly been a lot of work and sacrifices, both internally but also through life. There's been much work. It has been a long process. At times, very desperate moments. My girlfriend and I, through life, we have fought fiercely, and many battles were fought, and not all won. But we grew and we became stronger. Many lessons have been learned, many mistakes, but many corrections as well, and we have become the wiser for it, if nothing else. I've always wanted a house of my own, right? And here I stand. I've always wanted true love, to be truly loved, right? To love back and to be loved as fiercely and as strong and as determined and courageous as I love. Um, and here we stand. I am perfectly aware that such love is extremely rare in this world, and I know how lucky I am, obviously. I've always wanted a garden, or at the very least, just a little bit of soil to grow a tree or a small garden. Now I have a considerable backyard, a plot. It's a plot, and there's much work to be done, and it's a slow process. But here I stand, and I've always wanted to be a wizard. Well, I do know many of you are concerned with my own person, right? With my well-being. These years, I've always appreciated the love and friendship and support and respect you have given me. I'm not tired of saying that many of you have given me much hope in humanity, truly. And I've learned the wonderful side of being human, the love and compassion and empathy that it's so hard to find and easily discarded and missed if we are not looking carefully. But you have shown me a completely different side and wonderful side of humanity, which helped me from being a misanthropic and violent person to slowly learn about different types of love and to enjoy life and respect life. And where I where was I trying to get? Sorry. Oh well, concerning my life, at the moment, I've never been better. In true honesty, we live on the outskirts of a village. We are surrounded by nature, wildlife, forests, rivers, wild boars. At some point, we do have to get our plot with some sort of wall, close it with a wall, because at night it can be a little bit dangerous and scary. But the things are going slowly. We have been here for almost 4 months now. There's been a lot to take care of. Before coming here, there was a lot of bureaucracies, a lot of paperwork, a lot of comings and goings. Until quite recently, actually, the logistics alone were a nightmare. And there's also been quite a lot of work. I can honestly say that in just a few months I have learned so much about different tools and construction materials. There's been a lot of building and rebuilding and repairing and restoring. My girlfriend and I have achieved quite a lot in just a few months. It has been a lot of work. There's still much to do, and now that the house is inhabitable, and we have the basic commodities a human needs to be protected and get life going, we will soon also start working on our plot. We came here in the winter. We are in a region that rains a lot. We are also not far from the mountains, actually. Although we are in a high place, it doesn't snow here, right here, it doesn't snow, but it does snow almost all around us, especially due north and east. We are about 30 minutes drive from the mountains. Ah, that's right. Well, that's a story for another time. But I don't know if you know this, but I was terribly afraid of driving. And for 13 years, I couldn't get myself to be in front of a wheel and drive, despite having a driver's license. I did learn how to drive. But I have conquered that fear. A bit of therapy, just a bit of therapy of sorts. I got to know more about myself and my mental conditions, which is a story for another time. But it was also mostly out of necessity because we are in a village with too few, next to none of buildings, infrastructures needed to get needed resources, and more than 60% of the village, maybe more, is completely emptied and deserted. So we do need to drive to get stuff done and the things we need. But anyway, another battle fought and won. And curiously, I'm actually enjoying driving, especially at night, through the darkness and occasionally spotting wild boars, big bats, huge bats, owls, and other nightly creatures. Well, I digress. There's been so many developments, and I already forgot where I was aiming at with this conversation. And there are so many creatures around, I'm getting distracted. And spring is upon us, as you can see. It's lovely to see firsthand the changes in nature. We survived winter. We didn't get snow here, as I said, but we aren't far from it. But so much rain, and strong winds. Here, where we are, it easily gets to -2 to -3 degrees. But this is Portugal. Lots of humidity, lots of rain, very cold houses. As many of you who have come to live here have found out to your sorrow, and due to the thermal index and humidity, it is way colder inside the houses, and it feels ever colder because it is a type of weather that enters the bones. I actually find it funny that tourists from Siberia find Portugal in winter to be too cold for their taste. That's a bit funny, but very unfortunate for us. And as you can imagine, we coming in here in winter to an old house, and nothing prepared for the season, it was a little bit difficult, but we survived. And the whole country was hit by 5 consecutive storms for like almost a month. But we here, right here, we were luckier than most. While many people lost their homes and also lost their lives, we just had some minor damages on the roof, and we got lucky because everything that flew away didn't hit anything or anyone. But we are surrounded by rivers, and we actually have a little stream in our backyard, especially when it rains. Um, and we have had a minor flood back here, nothing too strong, but so many people lost their homes all over the country. The floods were out of this world this year, and we got stuck in the village for almost 2 weeks and at least 5 days without electricity. All roads closed or blocked by landslides or and fallen trees. In the best case scenario, actually, we have a pretty decent amount of stored food. It's something we always try to have, and both of us are no strangers to living in the countryside. And things can get rough, and electricity can indeed fall or disappear many times. 30 years ago, it was even harder. So we store food, and we are about to pickle some of as well. So we are prepared. But indeed, when nature does its thing and sends storms, there's little we can do. But I'm not going to lie. We were a little bit afraid. It was absolutely mental. The fierceness and chaotic wildness of nature this winter was pretty scary. Many of us were completely stuck in our own corner and praying to every god not to have too much damage in our homes. But well, here we are now, on to spring, and as soon as we start planting, there's a few more points in our favor, right? Well, my dear friends, I have extended this too much. I don't want to bore you or anything, but I thought about revisiting and saying hello and give you a few updates, more than I was originally thinking about, since I know many of you do care about me and my well-being and happiness. So thank you very much for that. This was about about that other plant, and here I am with a whole story to share with you. Um, well, thank you so much for all your support, my dear friends. Thank you for your friendship and love, as always. The work continues at Patreon. From time to time, I shall come here with more updates, if you like. Things are changing all over the world, right now. So who knows what the future holds. I'll soon also release a new album with my solo music project, by the way, for anyone who listens and likes Varum. I have finally managed to settle things and I have time for a bit of music creation. Um, well, my dear friends, thank you so much for watching and for listening. Thank you for being in there, still being in there. All the best to you. I wish you strength of mind and spirit. These changes in our societies are far from over, but it is the beginning of great changes, I believe. So stay strong, be fierce and wild. As always, thank you for today. Until we meet again, my dear friends.